Hey everyone, I just wanted to really just see what this video is all about. Like, there are so many people around me who are just constantly, not constantly in a negative way at all, constantly just like, yo, this video. It's genuinely, I think, the most, since I've been a part of the One Piece community, the most highly regarded word of mouth theory that I have heard of, and I am just very much anticipating what it could even be like about. I genuinely have no clue. I just see on the thumbnail that Roger's there, and he's Lobby's there, Jai is there, and even the title itself is so vague that I genuinely just have no clue really what's going on. So I just wanted to forward a bit just because I wanted to see if this actually recorded on Streamlabs, because I've never done a reaction literally with just, you know, seeing the actual video. I assume if I see the actual video in this one, I'm not going to get completely copyright out of my mind because I'm talking about the video fully. And Toei, obviously, if I react to that, they will slaughter me. So yeah, going to start the video. Hope you all enjoy.
Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Have you ever realized that when you take the D initial and put it in front of the title of the story, suddenly it becomes a new word? Coincidence, you might say now. But when you take the same D initial and put it in front of Annie's lobby that otherwise makes no fucking sense, it suddenly becomes another English word. Denies. Yeah, I know. Blew my mind as well. So now that I know that you're gonna watch this video till the end, let me tell
Okay.
you the crazy story of how the Japanese
Very confused at this point. But okay, we have some Jaya, Ennie's Lobby connections, Skypea, Dressrosa. Okay.
I promise you will laugh as maniacally as I did when I found out just how in your face this all might have been all along. Okay, here we go. I'm so excited to share this.
One Piece
That was a clean edit. Oh, he's going. Okay, wait. So he's going into chapters immediately. So let me rewind a bit. Is there subtitles? Holy crap, there is. Okay. Well, I'm definitely doing this.
In chapter
253.
we learned that
Upper Yard.
Skypea actually used to be part of the island Jaya down on sea level.
Yeah.
When you put both maps together, they form one giant skull-shaped island with modern Jaya being the teeth and the legendary golden city of Shandora as the right eye. Oh, yeah, and there is a giant perfectly round gaping hole where the other eye should have been. Why is no one mentioning this? There is an ancient city in the one eye, and the second eye looks like someone ripped out the one piece of the island that made the second eye of the skull. Wait, one piece? Are you telling me? Yes, this video is also about the true nature of the One Piece and why Skypea was actually
Nah, don't. Nah.
the most important part.
Okay.
And we all didn't see it. I first stumbled across the centerpiece
Okay.
of the theory
Let me
I came across this new
focus.
Japanese YouTuber called Uderon who absolutely rocks the Daft Punk mask and who has this crazy video about the true essence of the One Piece. Since I luckily speak some Japanese, I watched it all and it blew my mind so damn hard that I think I just sat there for like 5 minutes straight staring at my PC. Now, for whatever reason, this theory does just not exist in the English-speaking community. So I asked him on Twitter if he would be willing to let me share his thoughts, and got completely ghosted. At least he followed me back though. Thanks. So in good old pirate spirit, I decided to share with the people what belongs with the people. Okay, so the first thing that absolutely
Okay. So early, obviously, we're 2.5 minutes into the video, and not much has happened. Just more, you know, the anticipation. The anticipation is building. I do like the idea that the entire other half of Jaya is seemingly something much more important, meaning not just Chandra, but the other half. And from what I could tell, at least this is my blatant assumption of where this is going. Since they showed Ennie's lobby, I assume that that is going to be on the bottom of Eni's lobby, or it is the floating thing in Eni's lobby. And that would have something to do as to why the upper yard was able to float in Skypiea. Didn't really float, kind of just was in the clouds, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely caught me by surprise is how much more Oda seems to play with words, numbers, and letters than we English-speaking fans seem to realize. Best example that is actually also relevant for this video is One Piece itself. In Japanese, One Piece is written in the katakana alphabet as One Piece, but this is only on top of an actual Japanese phrase, Hitotsunagi Daihyo. This is usually read as Hitotsunagi, the great treasure of the One Piece, as in the one piece of a whole, Hito as in one. However, this could also be read as Hitotsunagi, Hito as in humans, making it the treasure that connects all people, which of course One Piece is all about.
Okay, that was really cool. This is something I do really appreciate about Ohara and his videos, him having the ability to just really kind of get the point across of the Japanese kind of vernacular that they use and all the types of intricacy of the language. I think it's absolutely fascinating. So just wanted to say that before we get really deep into the video, because I assume he's going to bring that up more and more.
So as I was saying, the core idea of this theory is that Jaya did not only lose a chunk of its land once when Upper Yard was catapulted into the sky by the knock-up stream 400 years ago, but also 800 years ago when the city located in the left eye was ripped out in the war with the world government. Which, when we look at the map, would theoretically work, right? One city as the right eye and one city as the left eye, making the island one ancient kingdom. So what's my proof for all this, you ask? Oh, there is a lot. First of all, the name of the series, One Piece, and there is exactly one piece missing in this map. If Luffy himself was the One Piece missing from the former ancient kingdom, that would right? No pun intended. Then there is also a
that makes sense too, because Raftel is meant to be this missing island that you can only get to with the let me pause. Raftel is the only available, obviously, through the poneglyphs, and you can't get there naturally. I assume the world government had the ability to kind of manipulate the world itself so people aren't able to go there, which actually was shown in Punk Hazard way earlier. So just more examples as to why Punk Hazard just somehow has all of these nitty gritty details that we're just finding out more and more about, which just, I don't know. I feel like the fact that it was mentioned in sort of a inconsequential way is really cool. But obviously, the Grand Line's all magnetically kind of wacky, so it could just be that as well. But you know, yeah. Let's continue.
Luffy has his left eye closed, and I noticed that the same is sort of true for Robin in volume 24 as well. We also have Pedro's missing left eye, Shank's scar, Luffy's scar, Zoro's scar, and the Jolly Roger of Doflamingo, a former celestial dragon, where the skull's left eye is just literally stroked out. Now, the volumes surrounding the Skypiea arc are actually some of the most critical in the entire story. Tons of important characters get introduced here. We meet Blackbeard and learn about the importance of dreams. We meet Bellamy and Doflamingo, who are also extremely relevant to this theory. And we see the meetings of Shanks and Whitebeard, as well as Ace and Buggy, all of which are super closely related to Roger, who, by the way, decided to leave a little message on the poneglyph in Shandora out of all places he could have done so. But the person most connected to Roger in a way that we meet in this arc is none other than Mont Blanc Nolans. He's a direct parallel to Roger, and their connection is one big hint that Jaya was the ancient kingdom and that Laugh Tale is its missing part.
That is very, very interesting. I like the idea, specifically with all these characters relating. Personally, what I'm most shocked by at this moment is the fact that Bellamy is being seen as such an important character in this theory. I'm curious because Bellamy, his entire kind of well, not his entire, but one of his most important iconography, I would say, is that his scar is over his right eye, which I think is kind of interesting since you just mentioned all these characters with left eye related scars.
Noland is basically Roger, but in many ways reverted. Both of them were very powerful powerful, free-spirited adventurers. This panel here, where only Nolan can hear the sound of the bell, strongly suggests that just like Luffy and Roger, he had the voice of all things. Both of them found legendary places, Shandora and Laugh Tale. Both came back with no evidence, and both were sentenced to death and executed. However, here the stories start to invert each other. While Nolan was deemed a liar for his speech, Roger sparked a new era of piracy. Nolan didn't know the way back to Shandora, but Roger did know the way to Laugh Tale. Nolan cried while Roger laughed. And Nolan actually told the truth in the end, as the City of Gold was real, while Roger sort of lied, as the core of the One Piece is not gold and silver. And so, given all these parallels, wouldn't it make a ton of sense that Nolan found the City of the Right Eye, while Roger found the one on the left? In Mocktown, at the beginning of the arc, Bellamy makes fun of dreamers and says that the era of dreams is over. He explicitly names the Golden City and the One Piece as two such delusions. And yet, as you very well know, the arc ends by Luffy ringing the Golden Bell, proving that the Golden City was there all along. Well, wouldn't it be extremely fitting then, even ironic, if the One Piece, the second location of dreams, used to be...
This is not in the manga specifically at all, but this is just a really kind of neat coincidence that I just kind of associate in my brain. When Roger in the anime was shown having his execution, there was a lot of very kind of deep ringing bell noises in that scene as well. And I never really put that together. And that's really cool because the inversions of Roger and Nolan, I feel, were very evident, especially with the execution, obviously. But that making... that's cool. Let's continue.
In the very same spot that Bellamy used to make fun of both of them. Further, when we reach the ruins of Shandora, Robin explicitly states that there is no doubt that this city fought against the enemy in the war. Well, if Shandora was part of the ancient kingdom, that would only be logical then, wouldn't it? Not only as an ally, but as a part of the whole. Also, we can't ignore the fact that Shandora is the only place we know of where the ancient script found on the poneglyphs is actually used as the regular writing system found on the buildings and walls there. And so, since we know that the Kozuki clan were the ones who actually created the poneglyphs for the ancient kingdom, and that this script is used very casually here, wouldn't the easiest explanation be that Shandora was part of the ancient kingdom? And given recent events, wouldn't that also explain why the sun gods, who we now know as Nika, is heavily referenced here by the people as well?
That is very fascinating. I actually completely forgot about that. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought it was just reference on the poneglyph. I genuinely I zoned that out. As much as I try to preach Skypiea, there's still things I'm just like, I blank out about sometimes. That definitely was why Wiper didn't join the crew then. Jeez. Well, obviously besides him not really wanting to leave, but yeah, if he was just there, he could just, or Isa, obviously Isa could have possibly joined as well. If they were just there, they could have, deciphered everything. Robin's role wouldn't be nearly as important in the grand story if someone literally could just translate everything as well. Very cool, very cool.
We even see Luffy in the exact same pose as him. And when I saw that panel of Nika,
this is the start of it all. Oh, that's very cool. This is very cool. You can't, assuming you can't see my mouse on this, but the Kozuki sun symbol with that right above the house, that is fascinating. Right, it was fascinating. Not really sure why that panel of Hina was on the right, but oh well.
Traditions live on in Jaya because it was once part of this one ancient kingdom. And then I thought to myself, oh, but the sun isn't the only majorly important symbol in the story, is it? One of the most most
The moon.
consistently
Oh my
recurring
god.
themes in One Piece is also
Here we
the
go.
moon. It's everywhere, and I can't begin to count all the significant things that happened under a full moon in the story. The sun and the moon obviously go hand in hand in pretty much any mythology. On Zou, another ally of the ancient kingdom, we even get guardians of the night and the day with Nekomamushi and Inuarashi. So, wouldn't it make sense for the right city to be the city of the sun and the left city to be the
City of
city
the
of the
moon.
moon? By the way, I just looked it up. In
Hmm.
Teotihuacan, one of the ancient cities of Mexico that Chandora is based on, there actually is a pyramid of the sun and a pyramid of the moon. The very same moon, by the way, which is part of the Kozuki heritage and whose crest is pretty much the same as the Shandians. And while I was thinking this, I found this crazy color spread of chapter 269, where we see the Straw Hats in a place looking suspiciously like Wano, surrounded by the birds from the Kozuki crest. A crest that, by the way, has also crossbones, but no skull. Okay, this is chapter 269.
Okay. A lot of info obviously is happening right now, but I just wanted to get this out as well. I think that the entire concept, there's a whole other theory about Laugh-Tale being on the moon itself and how the points on the poneglyphs are going to lead to a specific place, possibly a knockup stream that will lead to the moon. There's the entire Binks' sake. The song possibly could lead to like hold your breath before your next laugh, or else you won't be able to see. The moon will rise again. There's obviously a bunch of things in the world of One Piece that allude to the moon possibly having a strong connection with Laugh-Tale, and I'm eager to see how he brings these up, if he does. I definitely see there's an ad coming soon, so sorry, we're going to skip past that as well and continue onward.
The last panel of chapter 268 is this. Yeah, coincidence?
I think not.
The inscription on the pillar that Robin reads in the ruins says, "We are the ones who weave history with the sound of the great bell." Come on, we are the ones who weave history? Clearly, the Kozuki. And it also reminds me of this verse from Bing Sake that says, "Goodbye harbor of the spinning village." On top of that, I then remembered that the Shandians came down from the moon to Jaya with very advanced technology.
That's another massive thing. Like, what is happening with Enel's cover story, you know?
Okay, I'm gonna let you breathe here for a second. So, real quick, I want to say thank you.
So sorry, Ohara. We got to get into the nitty gritty of the theory, man.
Percent off your very first purchase of a website or domain. Okay, break over. Next up is
Okay.
a concept that I learned from Guderon that changed my perspective on Oda's writing completely. According to him, Oda absolutely loves playing with the numbers of the chapters to either describe what is going to happen in this chapter or even hide a deeper message. One really interesting and way too specific date that Oda gives us in the story is the 12th of May, 1122, the day that Noland discovers Jaya. Oda usually never gives us specific dates for anything, so why now? Generally, dates in Japanese are written as year, month, day. So 1122, 512. Now, if you take the individual numbers and the pronunciation from both Japanese and English, you get this. Hitotsu ni koko ni iru.
Whoa.
One is
The one.
here. Interestingly, the volume title
That's
of
so
one is
cool.
also koko ni iru. I am right here. So is this the One Piece literally telling us that it's right here? The next day
Wow.
is the 16th of November, 1127, 5 years later, when Chandora gets knocked into the sky. Same game. This time we get Hitotsunagi in Torodoroku. Do you remember? Hitotsunagi is the One Piece, and in is the sound of a bell. Thus, this stage reads, "The One Piece roars with the sound of a bell." The bell coincidentally being part of the unfulfilled promise to Noland to ring the bell that was then inherited over generations until Luffy was finally the one to fulfill it. Another promise that was unfulfilled and inherited to future generations was that of Joy Boy, not 400.
Oh. Here we go. I was very much anticipating Joy Boy being in this theory, and see, I'm not sure. I don't want to just say Joy Boy and Skypiea and everything is linked together so intrinsically, but I feel like it has to be. It has to be so linked together because it's all feels so connected because it's all about the history of the world. Anyway, sorry if the pausing is annoying. Obviously, I don't want to just play the video and like you won't be able to hear my thoughts over Ohara spitting this 22-minute long theory. But yeah, it's just Joy Boy. There's so many possibilities with him. It's just like kind of crazy. Let's continue.
But 800 years ago. So, when you subtract another 400 years back to the Void Century from Nolan's two dates 400 years ago, 1122 and 1127 minus 400, you get the years 722 and 727. The first possibly marking the promise by Joy Boy to the Mermaid Princess, and the second might be the year of destruction of the Ancient Kingdom. I know we're really deep into this right now, but stay with me because what comes next absolutely blew my mind. When you take these two numbers, 722 and 727, and look at the corresponding chapters, you don't get some random stuff happening. No. 722 is the reveal that Doflamingo is a celestial dragon. In this chapter, he tells Law about how the 20 kings created the world government. 19 of the 20 families deciding to move to Merijoa, while the Nefertari family was the only one who did not go. The descendants of these kings, the world nobles, still live there today. And so this meant that 19 of these countries had to elect new royalties and new kings, and so new royal families were established. As a result, the new ruling family in Dressrosa were the Riku family, while the family that left for Merijoa were the Don Quixote family. Ancient history. Okay, so anything else that might be interesting happening in this chapter? Oh, yeah, we have a literal golden bell ringing in close-up. And then there is Jolla. Do you remember Jolla and her great artwork? Yeah, me neither. But look at this abstract masterpiece.
This is, oh my god. I kind of just want to keep looking at this before he just explains this to me, but I'm definitely feeling something. I'm definitely feeling something. So, you can't see my mouse. I assume. I genuinely don't know if you can or not, but let me just talk about what I'm going through in my head right now. So, this picture that Jola draws is supposed to be like an ancient map. Right? Whoever on the left is taking the sun. It's taking what is supposed to be. Assuming what's happening right now is that group is meant to be the Celestial Dragons because of the importance of Doflamingo and this number, apparently. The right eye is Laugh Tail / Ennie's Lobby. I don't really know why Ennie's Lobby was mentioned, but hopefully we get to that. So this right eye is like all the right eye symbolism, all of the missing right eye. The left eye is there. The sun is there. The sun god is there. Now, why Momo is this king on the bottom, I assume has to do with the fact that Wano used to be a part of the world, but then they isolated themselves and hid away from the control of the Celestial Dragons and this new world order. Hence why they isolated themselves in order to try and, not really be a part of that. Because Wano used to be a part of the world in ancient history. This is fascinating. This truly is fascinating.
Piece of hers here. A giant gate with two eyes. The right one, bright like the sun, is open. The left one, dark like the night, is crying. I think I don't have to spell this one out for you, right? This might well represent the ancient kingdom being destroyed and ripped out of Jaya. All while Brook is playing music on top of it, and we all know how important music is in the One Piece endgame as well. And after defeating Jolla, he even says this. At the same time, the Straw Hats and Tontada start the battle to restore the honor of the fallen king and regain their freedom. Chapter 727, meanwhile, where the fight in Block D continues. Okay, this might actually just be coincidence. We hear the story of Doflamingo taking over the country by staging King Riku and his men going against their own people.
もっと国中が恐怖に震え上がり、陸王を心底恨み切った時だ。
The wordplay we get for this chapter number is chi ni ochiru, falling to the ground. Not only how Dressrosa fell, but also how the ancient kingdom fell. Jolla even says the arc is meant to represent the tragedy of Dressrosa. So,
Oh, I forgot about that. Wow.
Dressrosa is the representation of the fall of the ancient kingdom. What connection is there between Shandora and Dressrosa? Oh, right, this is a rhetorical question, right? The connection is this.
Noland. Yep. So cool. Jeez.
Shandora has vanished while Kalgara waits for Nolan's promised return is chapter 292, titled Like the Half Moon Hidden by the Clouds. Again, the symbol of the moon that we can also find on Nolan's ship in this chapter. And the wordplay for this chapter is tsukini, two moons. In other words, two half moons making a whole, making the sun. Wouldn't it also make...
So this is actually a really neat coincidence. So, ugh. Let me just calm down real quick. My friend Natalie, she is watching she's watching Dressrosa right now, and literally, the episode we ended on was Kyros' fight with Diamante, right? And Diamante uses an attack, called Half Moon Glaive. That's so cool. So I feel like he has to mention that now. Oh my god. That's crazy. Like, so many of these things are now just starting to, like, these thoughts are, like, kind of associating together now. Because wow. Alright, let's continue.
A lot of sense that the D is actually a half moon. 800 years ago, the people of the sun were overthrown, and the done piece became the one piece. A circle became half a circle and became eventually a letter. The will of D then being to be made one whole again, becoming the sun, becoming one piece. Okay, I thought to myself at this point, this already makes way too much sense. But now on to the biggest mystery of it all. Why do I think that the One Piece and or Laugh Tale is at Enies Lobby?
Okay, finally. This is the thing that I've just been, like, thinking about. Like, why is Enies Lobby the... Huh.
門ってのは島の裏手にあって、四方の塔からのみ行けるようだ。
なんだこりゃ黒いのなんだ
黒いのは滝だ。
The same Enies Lobby, by the way, whose main villain is called Rob Lucci, the one who robs the light. Just saying. Okay, so we have One Piece that when adding the D2, it gives us Done Piece. A done piece. The first thing that connects Enies Lobby to this is that it also takes a D. Suddenly, Enies Lobby that makes no sense as a word becomes denies. Denies what? I thought. But it's probably more of denies who. When you really think about it, Enies Lobby is one of the most freakish places we've ever visited in the story. And I know that says something. It never gets dark there. We have the enormous gates of justice that no one ever seems to bother to explain, really. It is one of the central government facilities, but it makes no sense that they would hold their mock trials on an extra island instead of Impel Down, for instance. Oh, and what the is the deal with this giant hole gaping in the middle of the ocean? The moment I looked at Enies Lobby's map, it just made a lot of sense that this might have been the missing piece in the Jaya map that we're looking for. Shape-wise, it absolutely fits. I also wondered if these weird ancient structures on top of the island had any purpose for the Marines, but it doesn't seem like they do. So could it be that these are the remnants of an actual ancient kingdom? The missing link?
Let's rewind a bit. Something I think is kind of interesting about the... So, there's a theory going around. This actually once wasn't mentioned earlier, but Bellamy also in Mocktown, when he's first talking to Luffy, mentions the Emerald City. Now, many people believe that the Emerald City was Greenbit, which is where the Tontatans are from in Dressrosa, which would further connect that arc to Skypiea, because City of Gold, Emerald City, they're connected. Nolan visited both of them, obviously. But we don't know if the Emerald City is Greenbit. However, this is also really interesting because if this is the other half of Jaya, and this is the part that was taken out, it would be kind of really interesting if the Emerald City is Enies Lobby, because we already see, obviously it's not fully green, but there's a ton of like really ornate kind of, detail. And specifically, it looks like green gemstone, so this could possibly be the Emerald City. And maybe there's, again, some reason why they either don't want to get rid of it, or if this isn't, new buildings, which it's not in this theory, this could really be the Emerald City. Fascinating stuff.
Had any purpose for the Marines, but it doesn't seem like they do. So could it be that these are the remnants of an actual ancient kingdom, the missing link that we were looking for? And then the government just decides to build its own stuff on the island. Is that why they parade the pirates they capture over this island as a forgotten tradition to remember their glorious victory of the pirate kingdom they fought against? I mean, it is called the Island of Justice after all, Shiho no Shima in Japanese. And here I'm a little bit proud of myself because I wondered that if there were multiple readings to the word for One Piece, there might be more to this as well, right? So here's what the dictionary told me. Shiho, obviously with different kanji combinations, next to justice, can also mean 1, 4 directions, 2, secret information, and 3, greatest treasure. Oh, okay. So we have the island of 4 directions, just like the 4 road poneglyphs you need to find Laugh Tale. The island of secret information, just as the forgotten history located on Laugh Tale. And finally, the island of the greatest treasure, the One Piece itself. So as a result, the government has made this one of the most guarded places in the world, where no one can sneak in during darkness, no one can escape from without opening the gates of justice, and that is directly connected to Impel Down and Marija itself. For Luffy, entering this island means declaring war on the entire world government itself. It's an island that denies entrance to the D, the sworn enemy of the gods. And since Enies Lobby is the arc directly after Skypiea, wouldn't it be a classic Oda move for the missing piece to be right there? I mean, the Straw Hats literally come to save the one person in the world that can figure out the true nature of this place.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That is interesting, but I don't know. The denies the entrance to the D felt a bit forced. I'm not gonna hold you, but I don't know. This does make a lot of sense. I mean, like,
This arc is all about Robin and her unique ability to read the ancient script and her search for the truth, and how the world government is covering it all up. Hell, don't forget that this is the arc where we first learned about the ancient kingdom in the first place.
that is very true. Jeez. It could be. And that the placement would be perfect because we just learned about Skypiea and all the ancient stuff there, and now we're learning about the ancient stuff here. Jeez.
Okay, but clearly the One Piece can't be in a town full of Marines, right? So where is it?
I have to know how it's... Yeah, that went up, so it went down. So cool. Hmm.
Is there anything that might suggest that there's something at the bottom of Enies Lobby? What So the wordplay from chapter 727, the fall of Dressrosa, was falling to the ground. Did Laugh
Fall into the
fall to the ground? I believe
That's
it
so
did.
cool.
I believe that Enies Lobby itself is the missing city from Jaya, and that under the floating island is the island of Laugh Tale and the One Piece. Just like the hidden world under Dressrosa. No wonder then that Roger laughed when he reached Laugh Tale.
That's so cool. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jeez. Literally, like, what? Oh. And it's kind of crazy. Oh my god. And it links up so perfectly. Laugh Tale, if the One Piece is the thing that will bring everyone together, that fits so perfectly because it's under the government's hand and like it can't be reached by anyone else without dealing with this massive, intense, unbreakable fortress. But Luffy, he obviously destroyed it instantly because he's the best character. But it's just so fascinating. And if you get there and you like find the truth of it, you can just take down the oppressive leaders. It's fascinating because the under factory under Dressrosa, it has this like, it was really described as like a web, like a spider web that controls the entire island. Everything in the island leads to this place. It's almost like everything in the world, everything in the world government, it leads to this place, trying to stop this place, the factory or Laugh Tale, from ever being reached, from ever being noticed. Oh my god.
He had literally been to the ancient kingdom before and passed by Laugh Tale many, many times, right in front of everyone's noses. And the ultimate proof I have for this are Roger's very last words at his execution, the very words that start One Piece.
探せ、この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた。
Again here, the secret lies in the Japanese version, a true wordplay in true Oda fashion. Roger says, この世のすべてをそこに置いてきた. I left everything in this world, soko. Soko in Japanese meaning there. However, it also has a second meaning. Soko also means bottom. In other words, the second meaning of Roger's last words is, I left everything in this world at the bottom.
That was really cool. That was really cool. Jeez. The inversions, the amount of connective tissue, it's so fascinating. Like, and I feel like there's stuff you didn't even cover, like that Diamante thing I mentioned, that just like popped up in my brain, and that wasn't even. I'm really curious now how much more like connective tissue these kind of arcs have with the moon, the sun, all this symbolism. And all right, this is another like kind of stupid one, but like Doflamingo, he always wears sunglasses because he's trying to prevent them from seeing the sun god, like, and he's the celestial dragon who's directly against the sun god. Like that's a bit of a stretch, I'm not gonna lie, but like the fact that I even thought about that's like, it's possible. Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Ohara, really cool theory. Really cool theory, Ohara. I've never done a theory reaction kind of video, but that was really cool. That was actually genuinely really impressive, and definitely going to consider this for just the ideas of One Piece in the future. Once again, want to commend you for the work you do, for kind of bringing a lot of things to limelight, because you're obviously a pretty huge YouTuber. And especially trying to unite the fan bases of One Piece. Like you said, like this theory is very much unknown in the kind of English speaking and non-Japanese speaking worlds for One Piece fandom. And I could definitely see why, because again, the intricacies. This is literally what I mentioned at the start of the video, and your entire theory basically was around this specific way Oda does things. Like, it's just a little quirk, but it really just, it makes it feel so important. It makes it feel like these moments are so, they're so planned. You know what I mean? I know people always say that Oda has a grand plan for One Piece, but there's some things he kind of like puts together, like the supernovas, all that stuff. But like these type of moments, so fascinating. So fascinating. So yeah, that's gonna be me for this theory. Hope you enjoyed my reaction to it, because I'm kind of blown away right now. I'm not gonna lie. That was really impressive. So I know there's some times where you've just been staring at like a blank screen, but hey, that's how it is. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I might do more theory reactions like this in the future, because this was really compelling. So yeah, take care and have a good one.